Alrighty, so last night I was playing with somebody that, I was running a Plankerton mission because it was one of my dailies, and they were looking for Joe's pub, and we basically started talking about the different kinds of storms. We talk about mutation storms and non-mutation storms. Basically, what we're talking about is that mutation storms like this, that have purple around them, they tend to have enemies that are more of a certain element, although they do mix and match in Twine Peaks. This one right here, I believe it's a nature one. It can be, it's just a storm alert, but they have different purposes. If you go into Storm Shield 1, they talk about, see what I mean? In Storm Shield 1, they talk about the whole fact of sorry about that. So storm mutations, storm alerts, they give you better rewards when they're active. You get 10 of them every 24 hours. When they are specific, like this one is a specific water one. This is the one where you'll get more of that class attacking you. I believe you can do 3 storm alerts, like weather, every 24 hours. So this one would be just a storm alert right there. It gives me a copper breaching bar. This one over here, it's a storm alert, but it's a mutation storm. This one gives me 2 rewards. And then you also get 10 every 24 hours for your horde challenge. You can basically farm those rewards every 10 hours. Every 24 hours you can farm 10 of those, and they reset every 24 hours. So when you use one of your 10 plays, you get a 24-hour reset on that one specific mission, basically. So when you do 10, you got 24-hour reset, but the first one will reset 24 hours after it was used, and so forth until finally the last one is there. Same goes for the storm alerts over here. You get a couple that are specific storm alerts, like this one. Nope, that's just a storm alert. Where are they? Today they're mostly storm alerts. Oh, this one's a fire storm. That means that you're gonna find mostly fire husk in this mission, so you can prepare accordingly. You can bring metal or, brick. You still get a little mix of everything, but that's why they do it, to try to save you materials that way. This one's a water, so you need more metal than anything else, or wood. People have done extensive shows as to what happens with some. This is one specific nature one. See the lightning bolt right there? It's specifically a nature element. So if you're trying to accomplish and you get also rewards for the mission, you get 60 amp ups. This is the one that you can do 3 or 5 every 24 hours. But they usually give you the element you're fighting. They give you extra perk ups on top of the perk ups you're gonna earn from your mission up here on the event road trip. You get nature, you get fire, you get water over here. By doing purple missions, you're also accomplishing danger in the mist. Nope, that's not it. Killer storms, there we go. Every 2 missions that you play that has purple mist around it, every 2 missions you get an additional 100 gold because it's a repeatable quest. So you do get stronger enemies in storm alerts. In mutations, you do get more, I guess, more smashers that are elemental, which is kind of a pain in the butt to deal with them. But if you do play the missions that have the purple on them, you will earn more gold, since every 2 missions
Hello,
you
it's
get
me,
100.
Mariusz Boston.
But other than that, it's one of those things where that's what the storms are for. So if you're farming specific perks, try to find the storms are specific to you. You only get those additional perk ups every 24 hours, a certain amount of missions. So if you need fire perk ups, try not to farm nature, try not to farm water, because if you do farm those, the water and the nature, you're not going to be able to get the extra fire ones. I mean, you're going to still find more fire huskies in these missions, but you're not going to get the additional reset alert. Same goes for this, guys. These missions are going to have tougher husk than this mission.
How you doing?
Even if it's not a 4-player mission. Good. I'm just, we were talking last night and somebody was asking about all the kinds of storms, so I'm trying to explain it a little bit here. So use that to your advantage. Normally the ones that are 24-hour resets, they give you more like this, evolution materials. So that's, or this kind of stuff. So just make sure if you're farming specific things, don't waste it on other stuff. If you're farming for evolution materials, starting to find all the ones that have like extra pure drops of rain, extra lightning bottle, extra eye of the storm, whatever you're looking for, because they do reset every 24 hours. You use them up and you do have to wait 24 hours to get them again. After the resets, you used all your cooldowns. You basically just get storms that are like this one, even if they're purple. The only benefit of farming purple missions after you don't have any more storm alerts is that, you know, you keep getting 100 gold every 2 missions. But other than that, you know, that's the whole purpose of the missions, why they're doing this mission, so you can like farm specific things if you need them. You can specifically target whatever resource you need. They do give you the 24-hour cooldown on the 10 missions though, so keep that in mind.
Canny.
Nice. And then, you know, as far as heroes, you know, I use Striker a lot recently just because I've been running a lot of the 4x missions for schematic XP. I had a few event guns that I wanted to get to at least 82 and a couple heroes that I wanted to level up to, since I'm a little behind everybody else. But I'm getting there. As far as heroes go though, I use Striker for fighting and farming because he is just awesome. He pretty much takes down smashers with his anti-material charge, so I use him for combat. Honestly, I feel like I do more damage with Striker just because I get the phase shifts to run around the map, and I get a cooldown of 7 seconds on my anti-material charge, which kills everything in front. So I feel that's better than the tower in a sense. So this guy, it's a little bit better if you're gonna use him. If you're gonna have one Outlander, try to get Striker. Like I said, you know, always save your points, your flux, because you can get whatever Outlander you want from here. I would say get Striker if you're gonna get one hero from the book. If you're gonna get constructors, there's, you know, you can get the mythic one, but honestly, the one they have in the store, she's pretty good. I used her on a Storm Shield defense. She has a little better, higher resistance than Kyle feels like. Just saying. I just wish, you know, they had a little faster speed movement. And then the other thing I want to talk about is...
Okay, see, you have to go. Maybe we'll do a farm run one day or play with each other.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, you keep grinding it up, and when I play random missions, like, I'm gonna need to farm about sturdy. But for now, you know... Anyways, like I was saying, everybody says that Outlanders are overpowered class, but the way this works, if you paid attention to other RPG games, is you always have your strong fighting, you have your strong defense, you have your strong speed attack, and then you have the in between the soldier and the speed. Ninjas do a crazy amount of damage. They do, you know, it's ridiculous how much damage they can do if you don't miss any of the shots, if you use everything properly the way it should be. If you activate the energy boost around the map so you get more energy, regenerates faster. But other than that, you know, if you like taking a lot of damage and dealing a lot of damage, these guys can do it with guns. If you like a shooting game, if you like using abilities and you can keep track of your abilities, as soon as they cool down, use them. As soon as they cool down, use them. Ninjas are incredible for damage. Outlanders are in between soldiers and ninjas. They have a little bit less abilities, but they have abilities that, you know, they don't require as much focus, I guess you can say. But they don't really get any boost in their attack damage like soldiers do. So if you're a soldier, soldier, ninja, outlander, and constructor, they should all be able to handle about the same amount of damage. Differently, of course. Outlanders do it by running, killing basically bosses. That's what Outlanders can do, because they can run from side to side to smash the bosses. Their guns don't have any kind of, you know, benefit to them by playing with an Outlander, but that's why you have teddies. Yeah, that's why you have, well, teddies and shock towers. Those are mostly to throw down where the enemies are and run back to the base, sprint back, defend it. That's what I do with Striker. You know, that's how I feel comfortable using it. If I felt more comfortable just being at the front, just straight up shooting, not caring about defending the home base, I could use these guys. They have a strong damage resistance. They do a lot of damage with the guns. They can take down enemies at the front, but they do let stuff slip by because they're not perfect. That's why you have constructors with their traps. When you build with the constructor properly, they don't take as much damage as other people do because they're not meant to take a beating. A lot of constructors have a lot of stats that can actually help. Just mostly all the other characters. There's only a couple that are for constructors specific, but most of the constructors have their perks that can be for any player, any other character, and that is because they do have a tremendous amount of health and shield. But then again, where's my 130 soldier? See, it's only a little bit more shield, a little bit less health, so it's a pretty even trade right there. They're both pretty good, but that's why constructors have mostly perks that can help. They are your main defense. They are the ones that add the most to your health. I guess if I didn't have any mythic one, Outlanders have shittier health and shittier shield. Ninjas, they have way lower too as well. If you main with the ninja, you do a lot of damage, but you do take a beating, so you can always find constructors that will add more to your health and to your resistance to boost you. That's one of the things I look for mostly in characters that have a lot of health, a lot of shield. It's defense. I do use constructors when I want to have fun with traps and see how different husk and different monsters respond around trap tunnels, but I hardly ever use constructors just because they're mostly defense. I like to be out in the front lines and being able to go back and forth, kill smashers, kill husk, kill whatever with the Outlander sprinting back and forth. Teddies are awesome. Drones are awesome just because you get to throw them out and they do take the enemies without you having to aim. With soldiers, you do have the same ability with the frag grenades. With Carbide, he has the little plasma field around the grenades that does continuous damage. If you throw the grenades as soon as you can with this guy right here, you get about the same duration time as a Teddy does. So perk wise, it's about even. You also get the smash on the ground thing. What is it called? Shockwave? Yeah, shockwave, which also kills everything around you. It's just pretty much like a shock tower. It also leaves a mark behind that keeps doing damage, so it's like shock tower. You also have lefty and righty, which gives you an incredible amount of shooting power with those guns. It takes down monsters like crazy. It can take down an encampment on its own, a large encampment. I can do the same thing with an Outlander, with Striker. When I throw out my Teddy and my 2 drones and run back, they pretty much take care of large encampments in 88, 82, 4-player. This guy right here needs a little more help just because, you do have to aim a little more on the abilities and you do have to be a little more active on what you're doing. I haven't tried with this guy, honestly, because I feel like, I would be lost. I mean, you do get decoy with some of them, which is pretty cool, but I would feel lost with this guy being, moving so slow, not having the ability to sprint back and forth. Ninjas are pretty quick, so even if they can't sprint, they can move in and out of trouble. But if you're going to be farming, like I said, use Striker AC. He's good for combat, he's good for farming, he breaks a lot. You get a 4-second cooldown when farming with this sponge. Enter material charts of punch, search, and you pretty much fill up your mats pretty quickly. I was gonna work on this guy to try him out instead of Fragment Flurry, but we're supposed to be doing something wrong. I guess Teddy and Shock Tower are not supposed to be active at the same time, which kind of doesn't make any sense because when you have a soldier and you use Shockwave, you can throw grenades right after Shockwave, or you can activate lefty and righty and then activate the other 2. You have enough energy, which is pretty much the same thing as throwing Shock Tower and Teddy if you want to think about it. But it's cool. That's why I don't really use her that much, because I don't want to get used to a character that's not supposed to be used that way and is going to be changing in the future. So other than that, I feel like some of the perks Epic does on the characters specifically, like constructors, should be like innate passive abilities for them. Like all constructors should have a 10% cheaper construction rate, faster construction rate. All Outlanders should have a faster run speed and a higher magic fine, loot fine. Ninjas, just have the double jump ability, a given, and well, you know, it's just at least one ability: double jump, faster run speed, or loot find, cheaper construction. Soldiers, you know, they should just. I honestly, I don't know what these guys could have. I mean, they don't really have anything that's innate to a soldier. I mean, going commando, I guess, the gun. I hate using carbide when he's in the loading screen because he's always holding a minigun in there, and he doesn't have a minigun. It's not one of his abilities, and neither is this guy. So, you know, maybe the minigun should be a given ability for them. That would be pretty overpowered for a soldier, don't you think? If it was an innate ability that had a minute cooldown. But then again, it would take an ability slot, so. Yeah, actually, soldiers are pretty well rounded. If anything, soldiers are overpowered because you're getting a boost on all your shots, you're getting a boost on how much damage you do. So by the end of the game, there's no reason why your combat score shouldn't be almost twice as high as an Outlander's. I mean, if you feel like a Teddy is really more, you know, overpowered than all these abilities soldiers get, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, when I play with Carbide, I get the same combat scores I get with my Outlanders, so I know it's not a character thing, you know. But then again, so yes, if you want to have a fun fighting experience, use a soldier. They're most for one-to-hand combat. They are incredible with guns. They are amazing, and there's, you know, very little need for their abilities, but you can use them if you need to, and they are pretty awesome. Constructors are pretty incredible if you want to start messing around with trap tunnels and putting trap tunnels here and there just to see how Husk respond. This game is all about experimenting with traps. So constructors are awesome when you want to be hanging out and building trap tunnels where zombies are coming in, especially with this guy being on your, you know, if you get him for your support squad, 24% construction speed, you can definitely build when the husks are coming in. Just watch out for propanes. The dumbest thing this game has done is propanes and death burst. It renders traps completely useless when a level is full of death burst zombies, or full of propanes and no matter what blow up in the tunnels just because they can't walk freely through one little section, or they're about to die and they blow up. So it's one of those dumb things that if this game was meant to be used as a trap tunnels like they designed it to be, why implement those ridiculous things that renders a constructor useless? You know, as long as death burst and propane tanks are around, constructors are useless because by the time you go in to build with them, they have so little resistance that they get knocked down so quickly. I mean, you do have to have your entire team backing you up if you want to be building in the middle of combat, especially after a death burst wave of zombies destroyed all your traps. You know, it's ridiculous. Epic needs to fix that. Take away death burst. It's dumb. It's ridiculous. They create a whole class based on trap tunnels and they make them useless by implementing so many death burst waves. The propane and smashers I guess they've been around for a long time. Death burst maybe, but it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not the only one that thinks that it would be more fun if you just stop messing with death burst, take that away, let constructors actually be played the way they should be played, you know. Ninjas, I don't use them just because they're low health, they're low defense, and I don't really, you know, feel like fighting mainly with abilities, if it makes any sense, because these guys are awesome if you fight mainly with abilities. They do a lot of damage with guns, but then again, it's pretty much the same thing as if you were doing an Outlander at that point, except that they get a lot of melee. So I guess if you want to do a lot of melee combat, you can use these guys. And then last thing is, everybody seems to think that getting to Twin Peaks is what matters in the game. Everybody I meet in Canyon, in Plankerton, in Stonewood, they hate playing the game. They hate playing the missions because it's a grind. They feel it's annoying. But this is the thing: if you do a 4x player mission where you're at, like down here in Stonewood, and you can handle 4 XP mission, not a mutation, just a regular one or a mutation or whatever. If you can handle 4-player mission at the highest level where you're at by yourself, no matter what you have to do, defenders, whatever, then you're good to go. Just farm it until you can farm the next highest level. That's your indication of your strength right there. If you can farm a 4 XP player on a 46, I believe, Plankerton's the highest. Where is Plankerton? 46. Yeah, up here. If you find a 4 XP mission in Plankerton and ooh, on my farm, no. See, like if you can farm this and it's not that big of a deal for you, even if you have to solo it, then that's good. Go to the next level. Do a 34 per player. If you can do that one, then like this one, farm for whatever you need until you farm enough, you know, whatever. If you don't want to be stuck in low levels and you want to go farm in Canny and Twine Peaks quickly, then look for the 4x survivor missions and just farm those until you know you can do them easily, that without taking 5,000 mats, 100 traps, and then move up to the next level. That way the game doesn't feel like it's too much. It doesn't feel too ridiculous, and you're getting where you need to go. Like, you know, this game is all about patience. If you want to spend money to get all the items as quickly as you can buy, you know, the Troll Stash Llamas, the Smorgosh Llamas, whatever that is. You know, I can't pronounce that. And you'll get a lot of items really quickly, but you're not gonna have XP to level them up unless you start burning the items. And if you start burning through your items, buying llamas just to burn through your items for XP, this game is gonna get really expensive really quickly. You get a lot of free stuff. You get a lot of event items, especially once you get into Canny, Twine Peaks, because you start getting 100 tickets per mission when the storm alerts are going on instead of 50. So, you know, that's why you should try to farm the 4x Survivor XP, focus on your tech so you can use more traps, play with your traps, have fun with the traps. The more you play with traps, the easier it is to build efficient trap tunnels that use less traps. Like I said, you know, the Death Burst makes them useless at times, but at the same time, sometimes zombies don't blow up in your tunnels. I've played missions with Death Burst where I get not a single zombie blowing up in my tunnels, and it's awesome. All those zombies are blowing up when we shoot them, when we're killing shooting them, so nobody shoots them in the tunnels, and it's awesome. But, you know, like I said, general rule of thumb is try to level up evenly. Just hit all your survivors 10-10, 10-20, and then after you get 10-20, do 20-30, and then that way it doesn't feel like such a drag. Because if you focus on getting one to 50-50, it's going to take forever. If you get them all, like you see I got those 3 because I had them before, but this guy's right here, I'm trying to get him to 40-40. This guy's going to go to 40-40, and then after I get one of them to 40-40, he's going to go 40-50, 40-40, 40-50, 40-40, 40-50. This is where I'm a little behind my resistance. This one right here, 20-20, I've been working on him. I just skipped that guy because he's unhappy in my squad. I want to get rid of him and replace him with the heart, but I don't have a legendary. So I don't see a point in wasting my XP at this point, although I get most of it back. So yes sir, so this game is a big grind. You know, you do end up doing, like, this mission has a storm alert right now. Sometimes it won't, sometimes there'll be a different mission right here. But pretty much what you do in Fortnite is same as in Battle Royale. You come in, you choose a mission you want to do, whatever mission you want to do. You can follow your quest line if you want to, but you know, it's one of those things where following the quest line is kind of pointless, except to level up and get more missions in the higher levels. But unless you can handle the highest mission 4-player on your own, there's really no point in moving up. I mean, there is and there isn't. You can keep playing and hope that you always land with people that do the mission, but a lot of the times you have to play with people that don't do the mission, or you're wasting your time farming for materials, waiting for somebody to do the mission because you know you can't do it yourself. And that's the whole point, you know, of grinding it up and getting to that level. It's just like in Battle Royale, you go in, if you want to win, you gotta just keep dying until you make it, or, you know, eventually win, get lucky and win. And, you know, that's the only difference between Save the World and Battle Royale. In Battle Royale, it's all up on your skill, if you make it or not. Even if you get to the end, you know, you have to get really lucky to win. In this game right here, you always have the advantage if you know what you're doing. Like I said, just get your level at least to the same level as the mission level you're doing, so that if you have to solo the mission, you can do it, even if it's a little bit of a struggle. It can be done, especially with defenders. The lower the level you are, the less damage you do to Husk. The more damage you take from Husk. I always work on my tech and resistance, and then I start working on offense, and then last fortitude, because if I can't survive by running around without getting hit, then I don't really need my extra health. I need to be able to run around before I need my health, and I try not to let my shield drop too much. But health is the least important thing, honestly, to me in a video game. Like any other RPG game, you always want to try to level your character evenly as you can, just so that the game is more fun. It can be fun if you don't want to put the time in to level up properly. It's just becomes a chore, a hassle, when you're constantly losing missions because you're not farming properly, or you're trying to do something that doesn't have a target. If you can't solo the missions on your storyline and your quest progression, there's no point in doing them. So if there's no good, like right now, I have this quest for 2-3 days because there are missions I can do, where there have been, like this one I can do it and it will count, but the rewards are not there. I've been doing that, the 4 XP to level up quickly, and category 4 is not even part of my quest progression, so I don't even care if I'm doing quest progression or not. If they had a 4 XP, a 4x mission down here with the quest line, I would do it. See, I could do this one, but I don't need fire perk ups. Elemental perk ups, I never use them. I have 8.1, 8.6, 8.8, 6.8. How the hell do I have 6 of those? Well, I guess I don't do as many water missions as I thought I did. So I guess the 4 XP players on average have more fire husk and nature husk, which makes sense because we all like to use metal because it's stronger, and nature is horrible against metal. Metal Smasher will charge right through 5-6 walls of yours, destroy them. If you set up brick walls though on a nature level, the Smasher will stop when they hit that brick wall, which is pretty cool to watch. So what I like to do is I set up a metal wall and then a brick ramp. That way, if we get water smashers, he will destroy through the ramp, and then when we set up the ramp again, I'll change it to metal. Or if he just, if it's a nature element, he will slow down at the brick wall for a while. We get to kill him. If we don't kill him, he smashes through the metal wall for some reason. Then we can replace it with brick. So it buys you a little time to mix it around when you're building. Ideally, though, I would like. Ooh. Kind of. Well, something new I want to try, but later. Anyways, yeah, so last night at 2 in the morning, somebody was asking me the questions about the storm and the characters. So, I decided to make this a quick, although it's getting long, quick video just to tell you what the grind is in this game. Basically, the same as Battle Royale, you're doing missions just to gain XP. You're better off grinding for Survivor XP. Don't worry about your guns. Don't worry about your traps. If you're starting in this game, my second account, I'm level 28 in Plankerton. I have a couple legendary stuff I got out of the free llamas and the birthday llamas. None of my stuff is past 48, power 48, and I'm doing those 24, 27 missions in Plankerton, no problem. My traps are also like 46, 48. I just barely got them from 1 star to 2 stars, so they're like a 1020 or 1120, something like that. Like I said, it's if you place your traps properly, you mix and match your traps when you're playing, experiment. So you see, this nature trap will take down the water husk so fast that you won't believe it. The fire traps will take down the nature smashers when they're walked through them. These ones are mostly for the fires, although they do need to add a gas trap for water, so we can use water in the ceiling and water on the ground. We need some kind of electric floor trap so we can mix and match for reals, all kinds of traps in all kinds of ways, so that we can, have more fun with the nature elements. If we had one of these guys that was electric and one of these guys that was water, and it would make it a little bit easier to fight all the different elements, and it would be awesome instead of this one right here. Like, why do we need retractable floor spikes if we have this one right here? I mean, it's kind of useless when you have the fire one compared to this one, but So yes, this game is all about grinding for what you need. You want to level up a gun? Find a mission that has that's a little glitch too. Find missions that have 4x schematic. If you want to level up your level, which is what I would recommend grinding for at first if you're playing Fortnite, is just 4x survivors, as high as you can handle. If you're trying to level up your heroes, which it's understandable because heroes, they have more abilities which are pretty cool to use, grind for the hero XP 4 XP missions. So yes, just keep that in mind when you're playing Fortnite, and grind. If somebody tells you you're too low level in a mission, is because you probably are. People that play this game, that spend time on it, can tell you that the difference between combat of 2167 points. How much is my favorite gun? The hacksaw, 62,000 DPS. Just by removing 77 points. 77 and 79 is 150, 154, 156, I believe. Just by taking away 156 points of combat power. My favorite gun, drop a couple thousand DPS. So if my favorite gun dropped a couple thousand DPS, I'm not gonna kill the Huskas fast. And if my guns drop DPS, my resistance will drop too if I take them off. I will get hit with a hit and I will lose more health. So when somebody tells you you're too low level for a mission, they're just trying to help you out, because you're gonna hate playing the game if you keep playing like that. So just grind for Survivor XP. Try to level up evenly like any other RPG that you play. I don't know if any of you play Darksiders or Diablo. But yeah.